All right, free radicals, welcome back. My name is Dave, and I am the Radical Independent. Thank you for watching. I'm getting tired of the independent pundit class. I'm even getting tired of myself, so I'm going to throw me under the bus as well. Because I don't know what to do anymore with this channel. In the sense that, okay, I support Tulsi Gabbard for president. Most everybody else ignores that, ignores her. A lot of people come over here to watch because there's nobody really still talking about Tulsi Gabbard. And I do it because Tulsi is carrying a message. I don't care where she winds up as far as, I'd like to see her in the Oval Office. That would be the ultimate goal. But I'm not, waking up in the morning, pounding the wall saying, I wish these people would wake up, because I know that they're not going to wake up. All right. And I can say it 1,000 different ways, and it's still not going to make people wake up. Biden swept the primaries last night. Swept them. I knew he was gonna. I predicted it. Yes, the voting machines are screwed up, and we need to obviously be looking into that. Because that, again, was like a catalyst, much like the night Tulsi Gabbard was the most talked about candidate, most Googled, and then Google shut her down. Okay, remember that one? That was before any votes were cast, and they couldn't allow Tulsi Gabbard to even get out of the starting gate. Bernie at least had an opportunity, because he had built up such a following, but he squandered it all. And these commentators, they continue to squander opportunities. We need to start pivoting. They need to go, call the Libertarian Party, call the Green Party. Hey, I'm Crystal Ball. What do you guys stand for over at the Green Party? If you're not going to talk to Tulsi, by the way, you should be talking to Tulsi every day, because she has been ahead of the curve on the coronavirus. All of her ideas are now being co-opted by... This is the crazy thing. You've got people like Mitt Romney out there who are now running to the left of many in the neoliberal establishment on this particular issue and saying, look, workers need money. I'll even admit it. Mitt Romney, Mr. Erudite himself, Mr. Russiagate himself, has gone out there and done something bizarre and said, yeah, we need $1,000. Now, supposedly his is a one-time payment, but from what I've been told is they'd look at it again the next month and just say, okay, you need it again. Tulsi Gabbard has been on this. She was on it more succinctly. You had Congress women, part of the squad, AOC out there saying, oh yeah, this is what we need. These people need to be calling those people out rather than wasting time at this stage talking about Joe Biden. I mean, look at this headline. Biden not fit to save workers in crisis. Why? Anybody can save workers in crisis. You have to allocate money. And I think Biden, even though, he's cognitively challenged, I don't see how he's not fit to save workers. And I watched the video and I'm just like, okay. So, what this is going to do is it's going to alienate people from this, because it's all about tearing down. CNN, Biden's terrible voting record doesn't matter. Kyle, who cares? Who cares what? First of all, who cares what CNN is saying? Okay? You How do I explain this? You can get a lot of views on YouTube, all right, if you're basically feeding red meat to your constituents. Like, if I just did a video every day and said, Tulsi Gabbard is Wonder Woman, by the way, which she is, all right, it would get kind of boring after a while talking about all the amazing characteristics that she has and how well equipped she is to be the president, and it would become very Captain Obvious, and I've done a number of videos like that. But again, talking about how bad Biden is again like saying, water is wet. I woke up this morning and the sky was blue and water was wet and Biden is bad. at a certain point, I'm telling you, the way the human brain works is, okay, why, this doesn't make any sense. Why are you piling on? You should be, if anything, you should be doing a lot of reflection about Bernie, not Biden. Biden, well, and the establishment. There are a couple of things that you could do. You could talk about how ineffective Biden was as a candidate because, number one, he doesn't stick up for anything. He doesn't fight. He's not a fighter. Tulsi Gabbard is a fighter. And all of these commentators, they had opportunities along the way to say, you know what, there's an exit ramp here from the Bernie thing. Bernie's 78. He had a heart attack. Yeah, we can keep pushing that. And they complain all the time. Well, Biden's got dementia. Okay, well, Bernie's old and he had a heart attack. I'm not saying Bernie... Look, Bernie is much sharper upstairs than Biden is currently. Okay? But who's to say that doesn't change right away? 78 years old, look, again, you should have the Bermuda shorts on. You should be chasing golf balls if you have that luxury, or at least playing shuffleboard, or going to play bingo, or just chilling out with your family. You've served... The retirement age is 65. You're 78. Might be time to pack it in. I'm not saying presidents can't be older than 65. But when you're approaching 80, it might not be the time to take the most mentally taxing and stressful job in the free world. It might not be that moment. Again, that's why we had Tulsi Gabbard, 38 years old, mentally and physically fit beyond what most Americans are. And that's who I want. I want to look up to the president and say, wow, she's in great physical condition. She can handle the job. Day one, she's got the experience. She knows foreign policy. She understands that everything kind of flows down from there. She's been all over these issues faster, better. And rather than getting any kudos, and by the way, these guys have nothing to lose by promoting Tulsi Gabbard every day. Nothing. They got nothing to lose. What are you going to lose, Crystal? Biden not fit to save workers in crisis. Oh, that Valley Girl thing. I mean, go talk to a voice coach or something. I had to do it when I was in radio broadcasting because I sounded like I was 11 years old. And I still sound young for the age I'm at, but I guess... Sagar, what's on your radar today? Kyle Kalinske is a very good commentator. But going around and now analyzing what CNN is saying, did you see the car wreck over there? Yeah, that's where they have car wrecks every day. We've got a pandemic going on. Biden's terrible voting record doesn't matter. No, apparently it doesn't, Kyle. That's why they nominated him. They supposedly think he can beat Trump, and he's the statesman, and he's got the name ID, and he does have a lot of those things. And again, these people are kind of in denial because they thought the substance of Bernie, which was presented very weakly, that's the problem. Bernie finally crafted a coronavirus thing last night. Finally weighed in on it after, everybody else has made decisions. I think he's calling for 2,000 a month instead of 1,000. Okay. Well, Tulsi was on this a long time ago. She basically piggybacked on Andrew Yang's idea as Andrew Yang gets melded into and blended into the establishment. He's basically endorsed Joe Biden, right? So I don't know if I trust Andrew Yang. Look, I'm hoping someday I don't have to hear Tulsi Gabbard endorsing Joe Biden. She doesn't owe the Democratic Party anything. She doesn't. So she does not have to keep that promise. I'll actually be very disappointed if she does, because I think at this stage, with the amount of rigging going on, with the amount of election fraud and lack of election integrity, I mean, this stuff is out of control. These people, look, you can say you don't like the Republican Party as far as their policies go, but their primary is nowhere near as rigged. It's not even close. The fact that Trump got through shows that, because establishment Republicans hated Donald Trump, all right? But he somehow got through because there was a little democracy going on over there in the Republican Party. And the other thing they should be talking about is, okay, are there any serious candidates out there running in third parties for president? Who are they? What do they believe in? Let's begin to pivot. That would be the other thing. It'd be Tulsi and then pivoting, looking at other alternatives. Because there are going to be a lot of people, again, this is a Hillary Trump 2.0. Instead, you got, here's the thing. Biden, who is more likable than Hillary, is less cognitively fit to be president than Hillary Clinton. I hate to say that. I know Hillary had fainting spells and she fell into the Scooby van and they pushed her in, and the footage is out there. It's pretty crazy to think that. And that's, again, why this idea of maybe picking someone slightly younger than 70, just thinking about maybe under 70. Oh, well, they're the wise ones because they've been hurt. No, yeah, maybe, but you got to have a combination of things. You can have a young president. You can have like a JFK up there, Bill Clinton. Not that, again, in hindsight, but at the time, people voted for Bill Clinton over George W. Bush, although I think Ross Perot probably allowed that to happen. Anyway, the point being, folks, is that these commentators, they're getting irritating. Yes, water is wet. Thank you. You could promote Tulsi. You could promote a Green Party candidate. You could talk about a libertarian if you wanted to. You could talk about a number of things. You've got a pandemic going on. And we're going to continue to... What are you going to stop Joe's momentum? Joe swept all the states last night. Talk about election integrity. Talk about what's going on in California. Talk about a number of different things and how both Bernie and Joe basically wanted people to go out and vote. They both said, hey, go vote. I know, Sanders kind of, his statement wasn't as strong as Biden's was. But again, that shows, I'm sorry, I know people are going to not like what I'm about to say. In a coronavirus, you would think, okay, everybody needs to stay home. But if you truly want to change the country, bring a bottle of hand sanitizer if you have one. All right, bring a bottle and touch the ballot, to write the oval in, whatever you've got to do the hands, and get the bleep out of there. If you really want to change the country, you take the risk at this stage. You take it. I don't know. That's my take on it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just... And look, you could postpone elections and so forth, but guess what? The Democratic Party, they're penalizing states for doing that. Fewer delegates are going to the convention from the states that postpone, because as time goes on, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? You could have Tulsi Gabbard start winning delegates, and you can't have that, because then you have to give her a spot at the convention. And Hillary Clinton and John Podesta, they don't want that. They don't want to see anything else from Tulsi Gabbard. And this is why, again, Kyle and Crystal and whoever else, you guys need to start talking about other options. I don't care if the other options generate like 0.5% of the total vote. I want to be able to vote my conscience, and I think Americans need to be informed. They need to know that there might be a party devoted to workers out there. There might be. And it's not the Democrats. It's not the Republicans. And by the way, both parties right now are implementing Green Party-style solutions to these problems. They really are. They're not Libertarian Party solutions, I can tell you that. So, again, food for thought, gang. I know nobody... Look, I understand some people say... I had somebody message me and say, well, the Green Party is dysfunctional. Compared to what, though? I mean, if you're voting in the Democratic Party, I can't see anything more dysfunctional than that. So, if a bunch of people left and went over to a party and said, hey, we're going to beef up this party. We're going to make it more palatable for people. We're going to define what this party is, and we're going to focus on workers, and we're going to stay away from identity politics, and again, give people an actual choice. But, be a big tent and inclusive. Don't be all snobby and elitist and look down your nose at people. Don't talk just about, green stuff, even though it's called the Green Party, and that's going to be the core of it. But there are ways to kind of talk directly to workers, talk to truck drivers, talk to salespeople, talk to bartenders and waitresses and whatever else out there, that's truly blue collar and working class. And then, again, give people a true choice. And please don't harp on things like Russiagate and the Russians. I mean, at this stage, it's such idiocy to go down that road. There's so much to do. And this, by the way, this is an opportunity for people who love Tulsi Gabbard to say, okay, now this is all proven that Tulsi's been right all along, and we need to continue to promote Tulsi and talk about her message. And if people say, well, she's got no chance of winning, just say, well, at this stage, the entire thing is rigged, so you might be right. But here's what I want to tell you about her message, and then explain what she wants to do. And I'll tell you what, you want to start a movement that would compel somebody to maybe take a look at running in another party. And I know, you sign the contract, there's a sore loser clause. She basically can't do anything this year. She can't. Other than run, she's trapped. She's in the Democratic Party trying to reform it. And these guys are talking about Joe Biden, how bad he is. Okay, we know. What's that other dude? He was getting hammered yesterday over on Twitter, Jordan, okay? And I don't like mentioning these people by name because they're way better at what they're doing than I'm. I'm just a guy kind of throwing rocks, all right? Whereas they've got reporters and cameras, and they're out there covering Flint and so forth. But he's arguing semantics about who said to stay home the most. Bernie actually said, don't vote. And I think he was called out and said, no, Bernie said go vote. To what degree he said to go vote was different than the way Biden's surrogates said it. And then the whole thing is you're putting everyone at risk by voting. Well, here's the thing. We're putting the entire country at risk by not voting. And I think as one courageous act and a risky act as it would be, and there may be fatalities. It's a horrible thing to even think about. But what do you want your country to look like? Actually, the whole election process should be shut down anyway, but nobody's going to... And again, this is something that you could talk about rather than talking about how Biden not fit to save workers in a crisis. All he would do is allocate money. I don't know how he's not fit. That's just a dumb premise. Trump is trying to save workers in a crisis. Is he doing the job? I don't know. He's not instilling any confidence as far as the pandemic is concerned, but Trump can allocate money. He seems to like money a lot. The Wall Street types probably don't want him allocating money to the working class. They want it all for themselves. And then Biden's terrible voting record doesn't matter. No, it doesn't to these people because all they care about is beating Trump. And I think that's where a lot of progressive commentators think that they're going to use common sense and logic on people, that they're going to use, actual facts and things to persuade people. And it hasn't worked because Tulsi Gabbard would be the nominee for the Democratic Party if you used logic, facts, all the things that she represents. She could bring the country together. Imagine having a Tulsi Gabbard instead of this blowhard up there talking. Yesterday I watched like a minute, maybe 2 minutes of what Trump had to say. And we're doing a great job, and we're getting everybody in line, and everybody's falling in line. It's just great, and our administration's great, and everybody involved is great. And I'm sitting there going, wow, it's just an unbelievable train wreck. People are suffering out here, and you're bragging about how great you are and about how these people that you supposedly assembled around you are all great. And I tell you what, we need a Tulsi Gabbard to be strong, get up there, and just tell America the truth about stuff, and then show some of her normal aloha spirit, empathy, understanding, look the camera in the eye. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard has been visibly shaken when people that she knows get deployed back into the theater of war, when she's thinking, this is ridiculous. We've been doing this for 20 years and we got nothing to show for it. In fact, our infrastructure, our healthcare infrastructure, the way we're dealing with this pandemic, imagine if we had put just some of those resources into preparation for something like this. And again, after the bird flu and SARS and Ebola, you think maybe the government would be trying to protect us from enemies foreign and domestic, rather than basically doing fake wars all over the world. Because that's what it is. It's a fake war. We're not at war with these countries. We're just trying to, change their alignment. We're trying to change who the leader of those countries is for our benefit. It has nothing to do with the people there. Let the countries do self-determination. That's not our job. That's not what we should be doing. Anyway, I've gone really long with this video, but this is the kind of stuff they're talking about. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, Bernie has lost. It's time to pivot away from Bernie Sanders. Talk about Tulsi. Talk about maybe some third-party people that could be out there that you might want to talk to. Give them some free publicity because they're going to get zero from the mainstream media. And that's it. And stop talking about the horse race, because the horse race is over. You could talk about how the race was ran. In other words, the corruption within the election process and election integrity. But man, you got to move away. Move away from this stuff. But I know they want views and clicks. I'm lucky if I can get a couple thousand views on a video, and I'm happy. But they've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I've got 7,300. But the channel continues to grow, and I appreciate the support. And if you haven't supported the channel, please do so. David J. Spuria at gmx.com. One-time PayPal donation. Thanks again.